It's at the university level, mostly at all the universities in our area, DePaul, National Louis, Roosevelt, U of I, Circle, downstate. You start a degree with a group of people, so there of other teachers. So there may be 18 of you. And for the next year and a half, you go to class together. And these classes can be every Thursday night for a year and a half. It could be every Tuesday night for a year and a half. Some of them, especially if you're going towards your doctorate, it could be every other Saturday and Sunday. And that may go on for 5 years. But the purpose is to move through with a close-knit group of people who are supportive of each other and who are helping each other get through the courses. But the courses are not taught over the whole year and a half. So you may have one course that's taught for 3 weeks with one professor. You may have 3 courses that are taught for 3 weeks, and the instructors would teach together. But it does not spread the course out over a whole semester as we had before. So maybe you were going twice a week, 2 hours, 3 hours in order to finish one course. So it's condensed. The actual time in class is condensed, but the work is not. So within maybe 6 weeks, you're doing the amount of work that you may normally have done in before cohorts. You may have done it in a full semester. So you could, in 6 weeks, do the amount of work that you had to do between January and June. So it's condensed, but it's shorter, and you also have the support of your colleagues. And many of the cohorts are set up so we have teachers in Park Ridge. There might be 5 or 6 elementary teachers who are all in the same cohort. So not only do they go to class together, but within our district and on our committees, they actually offer each other professional support and growth.
Other board questions? Try and see if anybody in the audience would like to offer any comments or ask any questions. If you do, I'd suggest you come up to the podium so that you can be picked up by the microphone. So, Alice.
I just want to make sure it's on.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or comments from the audience? If not, let me turn to board members and see. We've heard a presentation on what we're currently doing. Had a chance to ask and answer some questions. I want to make sure we have time for thoughts about how the process is working. Both from the point of view of trying to get as qualified and competent a teaching staff as we can, and also from the financial standpoint as well. And just give a chance for any thoughts or brainstorming that board members have around those issues.
I guess I just have a question, Sandra, before we get onto the next stage of this discussion, sort of finish setting the stage. In your role, while you've been working for the school district, when you've made these hires and you've been involved in making these hires for new teachers, since your position outdates most of the people at this table, I think maybe with the exception of John, has the board ever given you any guidelines in terms of how, from a financial perspective, how the hiring should take place with a particular teacher or set of teachers?
Just before the referendum, we did have direction from the board to stay within a particular range as we move through the hiring for the 2 years prior to the referendum.
And then that directive was changed at some point?
Following the referendum, that direction was relaxed. We always look for the best possible teachers that we could hire, but prior to the referendum, we always tried to stay within a range. And I feel that at this point, we still look for the best possible teachers we can hire.
Without any thought whatsoever to the range of the salary, Sandra? Or are you just looking strictly at the candidates that are coming into the interview?
We look at the candidates after the screening. And so, for example, last year when I screened math for Lincoln, I actually read through about 60 applications over about a week-and-a-half period before I worked with the math curriculum
guess just to finish setting the stage, what the district has been doing, and please correct me if I'm wrong, has been completely in line with the current board policy on hiring. Right? So,
Yeah, and I guess what I would add to that is the board does not have a written policy on hiring or a written financial guidelines with respect to
Right.
hiring. And so that has been left to the discretion of the administration. And, the administration's been using that discretion to, try to, fit the best candidates into spots. And it's probably fair to say, Sandra, that as a general rule, candidates who have more experience are going to fare better in that process than candidates with less experience, on average.
On average, yes.
which leads sort of, I think, to part of the reason why we're having this discussion this evening. I had raised it several times with Sandra and with Dr. Bender and with John. Not so much that I want this board to come up with a policy to change the financial parameters, but simply to have a discussion if we're at a point in time to visit this issue and to discuss whether or not we think it would be appropriate, A, to keep the system that we currently have in place, which obviously seems to be working and working well. As a parent, my personal experience has been at the elementary and middle school levels that, the teachers that my children have had have all been exceptional. And they've ranged from a first-year teacher right out of college, who was one of my child's best and favorite teachers, all the way to teachers that have had, double masters and years of experience. So we've sort of covered the range. What I want us to discuss as a board is whether or not looking at this as perhaps one of the few components of our yearly budget that perhaps there could be some impact on in terms of long-term effect on our expenses, because as everybody knows, the biggest component of any school district's expenses falls on salaries and benefits. I think ours is at 78%. Becky, is that correct?
In the ballpark.
Is that something that we want to visit as a board and have a discussion on? And what are people's thoughts?
Well, I think that's a very good way of teeing up the discussion and really the issue of the moment for the board to think about. Maybe one other fact that's probably worth putting on the table, Dr. Stringer, if you can remind us kind of how our current staff breaks down in terms of, we've talked about in terms of masters versus bachelors, but how the current staff breaks down in terms of, years of experience, kind of number of first through fifth year teachers versus fifth through 10th,
The majority of our current staff are over 10 years' experience.
Okay.
And right in the middle of the salary schedule of Masters Plus.
So one issue to think about is, do we have the right balance? Because undoubtedly, we would not want to have a district that has exclusively first and second year teachers. Probably most of us, me certainly, would not want to have the kind of district where teachers start in the district, work a few years, and then move on somewhere else. On the other hand, there are at least some financial opportunities in having a district that's not exclusively at the bottom of the salary schedule as well. So kind of with that as the table said, and Mr. Fioretta really stated the question well, let me see what other board members think about those issues.
Well, the one thing that jumps to my mind is when you were speaking before of some of the requirements of the state encourages advanced degrees, and certainly not taking anything away from advanced degrees. There's a lot of effort, a lot of time put towards these things, and you should be very proud of achieving these things. But you mentioned that somebody coming out of school within a year, they can have a master's degree. And I'm really kind of confused between an advanced degree correlating with more effectiveness in the classroom. If you're a year out of school, you're a year out of school. You only have 1 year of experience, whether you have an advanced degree or not. And that, to me, seemingly relegates the advanced degree to a lesser import because you're still based on your effectiveness as a teacher. Now, you may know more theoretically perhaps, but you still have 1 year of experience. So can you share with me how that theoretical background enhances some of the applicability in the classroom? Because I still can't make the distinction between advanced degree and advanced experience. Two different things.
Actually, you would never see a posting unless it's required, saying we have to have a master's. But you will see some of our postings say we have to have 5 years experience, or that's preferred, or 3 years experience is preferred. And my point is, most of the time, if we have a teacher with 3 years or 5 years, they're probably going to have the master's. But you would never see us post an elementary or middle school position with master's required. But we will if it's a facilitator or some special psychologist, something that's required anyway. It's required in order to do the job.
And I'm sorry, I came late, you may have described this, but are there metrics that are available that you may perhaps use to determine the effectiveness of somebody teaching or not? I mean, I find it a difficult task if I were in your seat to measure somebody in that regard, but how do you determine somebody who's one versus the other as far as their effectiveness in teaching goes?
There's an application system that each person has to complete. It's about 11 pages long. It goes through their universities that they've been to. They have to submit their transcripts. They have to submit a resume, a letter of interest. They have to answer 4 essay questions about technology, differentiation, working with colleagues.
That was in your handout.
That was in my handout, yes. We look for districts where there are similar experiences, sometimes with the types of instruction, the programs that they're using, are they similar to the programs that we have, so that someone's not trying to relearn everything. And so as we're going through the applications, these are the things that we're looking for. And so in doing that, we're taking notes. Sometimes we'll put together a rubric, and then we make decisions based on that. For every position, we get anywhere from 800 to 1,200 applications when you're looking like at primary or middle school. So we're a district that a lot of really strong, we get really, really strong candidates. And so we always have a lot to choose from.
And Sandra, regardless of which candidate is hired with years of experience, is there a program in place, whether it's a teacher right out of college or a teacher that has 5 years experience or a teacher with a master's, is there a program currently in place in our district in which that new hire gets mentored by a teacher from within the district? And if so, what is that process?
We do have a mentoring program. We have 2 of our teachers who are in charge of the program. It comes through Diane's department, student learning. They are assigned a mentor. We were the first district in the state of Illinois to have such a program, and we've had it obviously the longest. Teachers are interviewed by their principals to be mentor new teachers, and they're in the program for up to 2 years. There are a series of 12 workshops that we offer during the year, as well as meetings that are required with the mentee and mentor. They have to keep a log, and there's a whole notebook that we put together on helpful hints to get through your first couple of years in Park Ridge. So we are very pleased with our mentoring program. A few years ago, PREA, myself, and Mrs. Betts represented our district at a state conference in Springfield to share many of the things we're doing here. So we do have a 2-year program.
And presumably, does the mentor have typically more experience than the teacher that he or she is mentoring?
Oh, yes, much